Where is the immigrant sent? Majority
Name
of
one.
the
Name
time.
one source.
Well, I don't have to show you a source. You know this a fact.
Wait, have I debated you before?
Hell nah. Never debated you before.
The bet specifically was me saying that Joe Biden and Democrats advocated to increase the federal minimum wage, and you said no, they didn't, and we bet $1,000 on it.
That was not the bet.
That was exactly the bet. This is literally on my YouTube account. Why do you support Trump?
Because it's leaning towards the immigration thing. Kind of like what Dude was saying before. It's more so supporting the things that he do. We needed to get the immigrants out of the African American communities, and that helped.
Okay, and what's wrong with immigrants? And why only specifically African American communities?
Well, because only specifically y'all send them to African American communities. Usually the other races of communities, they usually are, well, that's racist to say. Whoa. Other groups of communities and areas are usually more wealthy, so they don't send them to them areas, which I think is unfair. I think they should be sent to every area. If everyone supports it, all Democrats supports it, it should go to every Democratic area.
No, immigrants will choose to go where they want to.
No, they do not, though.
Yeah, they choose. Let me clarify. They'll choose where they can and they want to go. If there's some sort of, if you're talking about busing immigrants places, that's called Republicans getting buses and then busing migrants to like larger cities and sanctuary cities, right? Specifically. That's what they were trying to do in order to be able to try to, quote unquote, overrun these cities based on their own determinations, by the way. That's just what they were trying to do, which, by the way, failed and actually has led to economic booms in these areas. So
it has not added to economic booms.
It has. Immigrants actually over the past 30 years have decreased the level of deficit by $14.5 trillion.
Okay, them are immigrants who came here as grad students, not immigrants who just came across the border trying to get a better life.
Those are all immigrants,
talking about
overall, including immigrants that came across the border in that way.
Well, we're talking, no, there's not.
Yes, it is.
The majority of the immigrants who came across the border are people living inside of the hood. They started corn stands.
Can you give me a stat on that?
But the majority of immigrants who are grad students make the most money in the immigration.
No, you said a majority of immigrants specifically are living in these specific communities.
You think
so I'm asking you, like, what evidence do you have for this claim?
Without even citizenship. You can't even go to college. You can't even get funded to go to college.
What's the evidence? Sir, what's the evidence?
So you can get funded for college. So they get federal funding to go to college.
So I'm asking, like, what's the source that they're specifically going to these certain communities mostly? Is this just like some random claim we're making here?
This is multiple sources.
Name one.
Where is the immigrant sent?
Name one. Name one source.
Well, I don't have to show you a source. You know this a fact.
I found the source. Do you see the source? Trust me, bro. Please trust me. Okay,
bro,
like if you just trust me, then you'll believe, bro. If you trust me, you'll believe, bro.
Is that they get sent
if you trust me, you'll believe.
Where do they get sent?
Trust
do you have how many immigrants live in your community? How many immigrants live in your community?
Just trust me.
How many immigrants live in your community? That's how we just fact check it. How many immigrants do live in your community specifically?
I don't know how to judge how many immigrants live in my community.
Yes, you can. You can look it up.
I think it's amazing that immigrants live in my community, and I welcome more of them.
They do not live in your community. In
your community, absolutely do.
Of war if they come.
Hey, dude, I live in Los Angeles. A lot of immigrants live here.
Los Angeles. What community? What district?
I'm not gonna tell you where in Los Angeles I live.
Okay. But still, either way it go, still they're going to areas.
You're just hoping that immigrants make this country a better place.
They're not making it a better place. They're diluting the voter rights of Native Hispanics who are already here and African American people who are already
Why
here.
are you only bringing up those communities to try to use those communities against immigrants? Why are you trying to act like immigrants are coming in destroying the voting power of already exist? So wait, why don't you bring up white communities? Are they actually diluting the power of white communities in this country?
Yes, they're diluting the power of any community that they go into.
So
but
then,
they
would
don't.
you say
they
that's
only
true?
Send them to the impoverished community.
Do you think it's wrong to have?
Problem. They only send
answer this question. Do you think it's wrong to have children? Is it wrong to have children?
No.
But you're diluting the voting
American
power.
citizens is having children, we should fund our American children who are poor already.
But then you're diluting the voting power of already existing Americans when you have children.
What does that have to do with funding other people if we have poor people already in our country?
Well, again, immigrants reduce the deficit, genius.
To the poor white areas, the poor Hispanic areas, the poor Black people areas, the poor any group areas that is usually impoverished. Normally not in LA because Los Angeles is good with the immigrants and stuff because they support immigration. But in places like Illinois, a lot of areas do not support immigration. And in areas that do not support it, the Illinois governor just sends them to Chicago. They just send them to Chicago because they don't want
So,
to
I mean, I
deal
would
with
like
the
to see like
Republicans.
any of the actual evidence for any of those points that you're making there, but like, can you actually just engage with the point that I just made, please?
What is the
Like
point you made?
that like immigrants make our society better. All data existing shows us that immigrants make our society better. You're just coping and saying that immigrants make our society
Okay,
worse
European
because you have no
immigrants,
actual
grad
genuine
student.
intellectual argument to back why you support Trump. So you have
Okay,
to try to
what group of
use
immigrants are you
you have to
talking
try to
about
use
that
fear
makes the country
mongering
better?
about immigrants and to
What
try
group
to
of
distract
immigrants
people away from
specifically?
why you
You have to
shouldn't
be
support
specific.
Trump.
The immigrants who ran across the border, from Venezuela, that was only
Fearmonger,
here for
fearmonger,
approximately
fearmonger,
5
fearmonger,
years.
fearmonger,
They
fear.
have
Let
made
me
our
just fearmonger some
economy better.
more. Let me just blame
Or the
immigrants here. Let me
immigrants
just
who have
blame
been
them there. Let
working
me just
hard
scapegoat them
already
here.
in
Let me
our
just
country,
scapegoat them there.
worked hard
Let
to
me
get
provide an
citizenship,
unjustified
or
argument here. Let me
and have
provide an
houses, have
unjustified
jobs,
argument
and
there.
run
Watch, let
businesses
me just
already.
blame him here, blame them there. Provide no argument. Just give it. Trust me, bro. Try again.
Okay, you saying trust me, bro, because you just saying that the only immigrants that support our economy is the immigrants who just run across the border, and not the grad students who already been here, the immigrants who
I
have
said
already
immigration
have
as a whole.
families
Why are you
building
bringing up
wealth
these
already
irrelevant
in this
points?
country, and you're just totally dismissing everything that them people have already did and contributing all their success to a group of people who just ran across the border 5 years ago
No,
who
I'm
had
telling you
no
the effective
opportunity, don't
immigration
even have
because there's
citizenship yet.
Hey, genius, I'm telling you the effect of immigration because of the fact that there's a study proving that this is the impact from immigration. Not because I'm specifically just looking at, oh, what happened after, then attributing it to immigrants. No, it's because we have a study conducted that actually demonstrates it's from immigrants. So how about you address the actual contents of what I'm saying, other than just demonizing and fear-mongering about immigrants because you don't want to do any fucking basic
You are
research into how immigrants
fear-mongering about
actually
immigrants.
benefit our society.
Okay, I did the research.
No, you
Immigrant
didn't.
grad
You've
students
done zero
from other
research.
countries who come here to become doctors, lawyers, other groups who've already been here before and was raised as immigrant childs who got funding to go to college. Them people have already been here and they've been helping build the society. Them are the people that they say helped build America. Them are the immigrants that they are talking about, not immigrants who just came across the border 5 years. That does not make sense.
Actually, I can give you more evidence to say that the immigration over the past few years has been more profitable for this country because actually the deficit is reduced even more by the immigration that we've seen over the past few years because we've seen massive GDP increases due to the immigration surge that happened under the Biden administration. So you're actually wrong. The Congressional Budget Office proves you
The
wrong.
GDP went
If you
up
looked at
because the
any
GDP
actual
dropped.
economic data, you'd be proven wrong. But you decide to
Okay,
not look at
show
the.
me the economic data.
Please, I'm just
Let's
gonna
look
mute
at.
you. Shut the up. So I'm gonna tell you, and I want you to listen here real quick, okay? You, because you don't do research, are then gonna continue to believe whatever bullshit you make up in your own mind and whatever you tell yourself you want to believe. Okay? If you actually care about facts, if you actually care about evidence, if you actually care what's better for the country, you'll do basic research, like in the bibliography in my bio, that will demonstrate to you that immigrants are very positive to this country when it comes to the economy. Okay? You are just lying on immigrants specifically to try to make them seem like they're a harm to this country when they're actually a benefit.
All right, let's look at the GDP that you said went up in the Biden and the surge. Let's look at it.
Yeah,
There was already a
because of
dip that
immigration.
happened. Okay, hold on, wait.
Okay, I'll let you. I'm sorry.
That wasn't because of the United States economy just boomed after everybody was stuck in their houses for over a year. That does not. We didn't do nothing. We didn't go back to work and started up our businesses back. We didn't do nothing. We didn't contribute at all to that GDP. It was just the immigrants, right? Like, what the fuck is you talking about? Let's look at the chart.
So if you go to the CBO, the Congressional Budget Office, you type in the title, specifically effects of immigration surge on federal budget and the economy from July 2024, you can actually see the positive impact of over $7 trillion in GDP growth, specifically from the increase in the amount of people coming to our country.
You repeat how much money you just said?
Around $7 trillion.
Okay, and the United States citizens also contributed to the GDP
Of
rising
course, I'm
too.
not
Over
disputing that, but I'm saying specifically what
31.86
the immigration surge under the Biden
trillion.
administration contributed to the economy. So this whole argument that like, oh, yeah, this is true about immigrants in the past, but it's not true about
Criminals
immigrants now
contribute money
is
to the
not based in the
economy.
data.
So we need criminals to stay. We need to let criminals free. They contribute money to the economy. Drug dealers
No,
contribute money
no,
to
no,
the
no. If someone's
economy.
committed
So
a
what are we
violent or
talking about?
Sir, if someone's committed a violent or serious offense, I'm okay with them being deported if they are undocumented in the country. No one has an issue with that. The issue that we have is specifically when you're going after people who are just coming here for a better life.
I know they're coming here for a better life, but we have people here that's looking for a better life too. We need to support them first. That's the whole point I'm
But
making.
immigration helps us do that, especially because our
No, it
population.
does not.
Let me explain. Especially because our population, on average, is getting older, so a greater proportion of our of like the baby boomers in our society are going to be retiring and are retiring right now, which inevitably is leading to a lower proportion of people who are working in this country. The labor force participation rate is declining. So the way that we can actually increase the labor force participation rate is by increasing the amount of immigration, because immigrants they are more likely to
No.
they're more likely to what's it called to decrease that.
So we're going to just exploit immigrants to try to raise our labor force.
No,
That's
that's
basically
not
what we're gonna do.
exploiting immigrants, dude. You're
Yes,
such a
we are.
dishonest. Genuinely, that's not exploitation of immigrants. That's them deciding to come to our society, which inevitably also benefits our society. That's not exploitation, dumbass. Dude,
But
like,
why wouldn't we give
why the
them
hell would you
jobs
ever
to
frame it that
to
way? That's
people who are
fucking.
American
I'm sorry, that's
citizens?
nuts to frame it that way.
Okay, because they're
That
going
is so dishonest as to frame it like I
That's
want
not
to exploit
dishonest. How
people
much
because
are
I'm
they
saying
going
that
to
they
get paid? How
benefit the
much will they be
country
paid?
after you just claim that they make the country worse off.
They do. How much will they be paid? Instead of raising our federal minimum wage to $25 an
Dude, do you
hour
have
that
any
we've been
facts to
asking
actually
for,
substantiate what
how
you're
much
saying,
will
or do
they
you
be
just have
paid?
feelings?
People aren't working because they want the federal minimum wage to raise. They're not going to
No, less
raise it
people are
if they
working
have
because a
immigrants.
proportionally greater, more of our society is proportionally older. That's why.
No, it's
That's
mainly
true.
because most jobs do not support a lifestyle inside of this day of age. You cannot
That's
even buy
because of
you a
Trump to a
house
greater
nowadays.
extent. And by the way, what you're
That's
saying is
not
not true, by
contributed
the
to
way. I just want
Trump
to
at all.
clarify.
That's contributed
That is not
to
the main
actually
cause of labor force
Ronald
participation going
Reagan.
down.
If you want to say anybody, that's what contributed to Ronald Reagan. If anyone, I don't even know why you said Trump. That was bullshit. Like what? Our economy been on a decline for the past 30 years, and ain't none of our politicians did nothing about it. So stop saying that that's about Trump. Like, what the fuck?
That's not true. We had increasing real median wages under the Obama administration and under the Biden administration. All right, and I would say that Donald Trump has decreased that level of trend of growth. So I would say that there are actively things I can point to that have made it worse since he got in office.
Yeah, you just dodging the point. We can
What
raise
point
the
am I
federal
dodging?
minimum wage because your point. The point is we're going to exploit immigrants, pay them a lower wage because we don't want to raise the federal minimum wage for American citizens. That's basically what you're
Who's
saying.
fighting
Instead
to
of us
increase the federal
advocating
minimum
for
wage?
American citizens to get jobs to work
Everything
at
that
these
comes out of
places,
this guy's mouth is dishonest. Who wants to increase the federal minimum wage? Democrats or Republicans?
neither.
Democrats do. They even tried to do
Democrats
that
are
under
allowing
the Biden
immigrants to come
administration.
here. You can't raise the federal minimum wage if a company can pay someone lower wages. That's not going to work. They're just not going
Wait,
to
have
hire
I
you.
debated you before?
Hell no, I debated you before. Dude.
I think you made a claim about minimum wage and you owe me $1,000. I'm pretty sure that that's true because you just made almost the exact same claim that I was right about, that I proved you wrong about, that you owe me $1,000 on. Holy shit, that is you. Where's my grand?
Don't know you, dude.
Yeah, you do. You're lying.
Okay, now you're just pivoting because you know that my point is right.
Wait. Can you pause? You owe me $1,000.
So we just proven that the point.
Wait. Can you admit that you owe me $1,000?
Can you admit that
you were wrong on this very point, and you're still making it? Why would you come back on the live and make this point?
And United States citizens will not be getting paid a federal minimum.
Why are you coming back on the live and making this point? By the way, if you're unwilling to engage with me right now and you're just gonna keep doing this bullshit, I'm gonna kick you.
You just pivot.
Like no wonder I was like, dude, this person feels like it's not even they're talking. It's not even like they're talking to me. It's not even like they're having a conversation with me, and they're just like saying things. Okay, so you can either choose to engage with what I'm saying and acknowledge that you literally owe me $1,000, or I'm gonna kick you.
Okay, federal minimum wage.
And you agree that Democrats advocated to increase the federal minimum wage?
Yes, they advocated.
Yes, they did. Oh, well, by the way,
that advocation, and we agreed that it was only.
By the way, he just conceded that now he owes me $1,000 because that was the bet. That was the bet.
By $7. That wasn't even a bet. The bet was.
That was the bet. Oh, now there is a bet, by the way.
You did not win that debate. You kicked me from the live because you got mad and kept pivoting.
No, so what was the bet? Tell me. What was the bet?
I don't even remember that shit.
The bet specifically was me saying that Joe Biden and Democrats advocated to increase the federal minimum wage, and you said no, they didn't, and we bet $1,000 on it.
That was not the bet.
That was
That was not the
exactly
bet.
the bet. This is literally on my YouTube account. You know that, right?
I pull up the
You,
video.
well, I have to scroll back. There's a lot of videos on my page. But if you scroll through the videos
That's crazy
specifically
that you
of
just
like
remembered that
this
word for word.
person
Something that
bets
happened all
me
the way in February.
1,000, like I promise you, you'll find it.
That was not the debate. That was not the debate. It was about the GDP.
Really? Because I mean, what about the GDP? How about you tell me that?
Some about the GDP.
Yeah, tell me.
I just told you the whole talking point. You just pivoted
What about the
because
GDP? I just want to know.
I just proved you wrong, bro. So at the end of the day,
So what about the GDP?
I don't remember, nigga.
You don't know anything about the GDP, so you don't know what the bet was about, but yet you're saying that was the bet.
Well, I know what happened today when we was just debating about the 2020 when you said that American citizens didn't contribute to the GDP rise in 2020 after the 2020.
Okay, well, I'm just gonna kick you. You're wasting my time.
Okay.
Let's go to the next person. Only